Hey, turn that fan on. You can turn that fan on. Hey, it's red. It means it's on.
Okay, so yeah, red means we're going.
We're go.
Okay, so I'm Mike,
I'm Becky.
and
You can call me Beautiful or Beau for short. Most people do. Go ahead. People everywhere. People I know, they call me Beau, short for beautiful. And then they sing a song about me too.
What's the song?
Beautiful, beautiful Becky. Beautiful, beautiful her. There's other verses, but we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for it. All right. So in the background, you can hear my little grandbaby.
And she's giving Jamie kisses.
Jamie kisses. She'll probably be in our lap in a minute. So we decided to do a vlog. Okay.
A vlog.
So
with a V, not a B.
Yeah.
B as in Victor.
And sometimes it's going to have some great stories, and sometimes it's going to have
Serious.
some funny stories. Hi, sweetie. So, and then sometimes it's going to have this cutie.
I love you. I love you.
Yeah, that was really quick. See, she sings that song.
Yay.
Beautiful Becky.
Beautiful, beautiful Gigi.
Gigi?
Gigi.
That's right.
Beautiful, beautiful her.
Hi, and who am I? I'm Poppy, right? Is that right?
Yes, she's sick right now.
She is.
She's got
But
double
this is
earache.
the best thing in the world is this little girl right here. Right? Oh, that was sweet of you. Say, that was a kiss. There you go.
It was cute though.
So, anyways, we're gonna talk about growing up chestnut. Basically, that's what the vlog's called, because we have, being in a pastor's family, we've had.
We have a lot of stories. We got stories not just about us, but about other people.
I know. So
we try not to say names. We might show pictures though.
I know. I think we should. I mean, we got a lot of these people. They'll watch us to find out, are they going to tell?
Are they going to tell that story? And probably we won't tell it exactly the way, because we're good at embellishing. It's called we are growing up chestnut, but we are part reader. And
my mom could tell a story better than anyone, because
she made it stretch.
Every time she told the story, it was better. And I love the Nobles family. Always loved to come to our house, because Mom would get up and she not only
she stood up to tell her,
she acted it out.
Yeah, when Mom stands up to tell a story, it's everybody needs to be quiet, because she's serious.
Yes. So we get you would think we get that from Dad being the pastor, but
no.
Really our storytelling comes from
Mom.
So but one of the things that started this off was, a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about with our family.
And I'm so young. I'm younger than you. And how do I know these stories?
Becky's the oldest, by the way.
No, I'm not. Greg is. And he's not here to
No, Greg looks the oldest.
Yeah, Greg does look the oldest.
Life's been hard for Greg.
Very.
Could you imagine if he was in the vlog with us?
Oh my gosh. We would be in a fight. Well, not really a fight.
No, he would start singing, "The day he wore my crown."
Oh yeah, Greg would be singing it.
Greg would be singing it.
And playing guitar.
Yes, or the harmonica.
Yes.
So, anyways, but it's not about Greg.
But he'll probably be here one day, and we'll
do it.
Yeah.
So let's tell a story. So what's one of your favorite stories?
My favorite story?
Yeah.
My favorite stories are always Mom's stories.
Mom's?
Mom. And one of my favorite stories, I tell this all the time, is I think I was like 8 or 9, probably 9. And we built a new church. We used to, when Dad came to Oswego, we had a church. It was in the schoolhouse. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was in the gymnasium. You were like 5. In the gymnasium. And anyway, our church built a really beautiful building. But we did have, it's a first church, and the deacons kind of ran it. And so when they got a pastor, they didn't know how to relinquish and share the
love.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. And we had the deacon that always, he did not like Mom and Dad by any means. And he would always go around saying, "So what did you think? Listen, that message was a little bit too long, wasn't it?" I mean, I was like, or he would say, "Was that did he study? That was so short." I mean,
Yeah.
And he would go on and tell stuff, and then some people would, get to Mom, and Dad, but Dad was just like, psh, but Mom, woo, dog.
That's called reader blood.
Yes,
That's reader
it's
blood.
a reader women. We just call it reader women. But anyway,
No, this was at the beginning of
yes, of their ministry, yes. We just got into the building. I don't know how long we've been into the building, but anyway, Mom was in towards the front, and she was talking to some church members, and
I remember this one.
And chatting away.
We had just come from vacation,
yes,
if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
And it was, they wanted, Dad and Mom wanted, and some other people wanted to start a Christian school, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so it caused conflict. It caused conflict. And I mean, it worked out that didn't happen, and we could, Dad, Mom, and when Dad tells the story, and Mom tells the story, you can tell that it really wasn't what God wanted. But this one deacon,
the way he went about it,
I don't think he even cared one way or the other which way it went. Just whatever Mom and Dad wanted, he was going to do the opposite. Yeah. And so anyway, Mom was talking to some of the church members up front, and I'm just minding my business. I'm like 12. I don't know how old I'm. 12, I guess. And
I remember this because I was young.
I wasn't even 12.
I think I was probably about 6,
maybe
5, 6, because Mom had walked me before Mom would go to choir.
Yes.
She would go march me to the front row to sit, and that's when this took place.
And then long story short or short story long, he comes up to Mom and is patting her on the back, rubbing her back, and goes, "Oh, don't you just love we love Pastor Merle. We just love."
Oh, we sure missed you and all that.
Yeah, we missed you and all this. And my Mom could make faces. She'd do that.
She was good.
Oh, yeah, that. She was going. She's good, and she starts turning around to the members and to me. She even did it to me. I don't know if she did it to you.
I was. She had my hand,
and she was going, Is there the knife? Did he put that knife in my back? Is it twisted?" And she's going around asking everybody, "Can you get that knife out of my back that he just put in?" And she was not going to stop. She was just going
on. And I remember because I was young, and I'm literally thinking this man stuck a knife in Mom's back. And I remember I'm going, I'm mortified, and Mom, you're not giving it enough credit, because Mom's going, ooh, somebody get that knife out of it.
Exactly
and
right.
He said, "Miss Rella," and she, it's going deeper.
He goes, "That hurts." He goes, "We love you guys." And she would just keep going. And I think Dad finally had to step in, and he didn't want to. It was back.
That was the pre-show before Dad preached.
He was he was talking to somebody else, like in the lobby or in the foyer, and or something. And he finally had to step in, like he did on many occasions. But
could you imagine what it must have been like for him after that happened? Now he has, because that was a Sunday morning. Now he has to go up and preach a sermon after. Well, I've never thought about that. How did that? And
Mom and Dad tried to keep. Greg and I were nosy, and I still am. Greg says he's not, but Greg is nosy.
We're all
Greg
nosy.
And we are. Greg is nosy. We are all nosy, and because it's excitement. We didn't have the things to entertain us like we do nowadays,
right?
And so, this was like, oh, Mom is, doing this, So anyway, this deacon always gave him trouble, and we were young, but we were all like in the car. Mom and Dad would talk, and they would try to keep it down, on the down low,
right?
And but we were like, listening, and then Dad go, "Why don't you guys sing a song or something?" And he usually wanted us not to sing a song. If we sang, he always said, "Can you at least sing the same song?" Because we would always be singing something different. But anyway, we always knew who they were talking about. So they started giving him names. One of them was Banny Rooster. Well, that was easy. Greg and I figured Banny Rooster out real fast. Then they gave him a name, but the name they gave him, they started giving him LH. And Greg and I were like, "Who is LH?" But you do it by process of elimination, because.
So you guys are smart. I was young. I didn't care. I care less.
Well, and we were bored, and they had some of the deacons liked Mom and Dad, but they were conflicted and some of the members, because this guy
he was a leader.
He was a leader, and yet they liked Mom and Dad,
right?
And they just were, but he had led them till Dad got there. So I guess he was really kind of threatened in some ways. I don't know, but anyway. So for years, not years, but for days and months, LH and Greg, what in the world? But we figured it had to be him. And we knew it was him. And so we figured out. So we talked about and we'd sit around the table and we're like, okay, or mom and dad would be talking over in another corner. But we're like, that's who that is. That's so and so. That's so and so. We're like, and mom and dad are like, how did they figure it? Because they tried so many things to change, but it was the same guy. It was like the same guy. That's for one reason.
Right.
But the LH years later, I told mom, what was LH? I knew if I'd ask her then, she wasn't going to tell me. And she said, because he was short. This guy was short, so they called him Little Hitler, and that is what LH meant. So they gave everybody names, and then they would do initials. So because we really shouldn't have known. We didn't.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have no business knowing, but except that we were nosy. And what were we going to do with that information?
But what's funny?
Nothing.
People don't get when you're a preacher's kid. I remember a certain person. It was
We'll show a picture later.
It was one of our song leaders actually, and they would have us come over on Sunday afternoon and stuff. And a lot of the time it was because she wanted to know what mom and dad were saying about them, if they were talking about them. Well, you and Greg were smart to that, and you guys would be like, shut, no,
kicking you under the table.
Yeah, but she would give me candy, so I would make up stories of what mom and dad were saying about her because I just wanted more candy.
More candy,
and so she was getting mad, and I was getting fat.
And mom and dad were going, "What? Where are you getting this from?" I think mom got onto it too. Mom figured it out too.
Yeah, so because we didn't. After that, we didn't go over there anymore. Hi there, baby girl.
You got something to say?
Come here.
Oh, did you drink out of the dog dish? Was it good?
Hi.
Did you get some water?
She just wanted to come and say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hi. Say, I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, go see Nina.
One of my favorite stories, though, involves we weren't quite old enough to stay home by ourselves.
Yeah.
Miss McCuddy.
Who?
What was her name? Miss
McCullough.
Miss McCullough. And they were like, she was a missionary. They were missionaries years and years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But we lived in Boulder Hill, and she started coming to church. Her husband died, and she started coming to our church. And she didn't know how to do anything. I mean, literally nothing, because
I know she couldn't cook.
No. That's where we're going. But to set the stage, because I like to tell the story and I like to stretch and embellish.
I'm sorry I ruined the story.
It was back in the day when you had 3 channels.
Yeah.
And UHF channels.
Yes.
Well, she didn't know how to run that, how to turn she didn't know about UHF. She didn't, but because her husband died and he did all, he watched TV. She really didn't watch that much TV, but when she wanted to, so she's telling Dad it was broken. So Mom went over there. Of course, most of the time us kids were.
She used to call a lot, didn't she?
She called a lot. And she didn't live too far from us when we lived in Boulder Hill. And I remember she didn't know how to run the vacuum cleaner. And it wasn't picking up. And Mom had to show her how to change Mom goes, well, where are your bags? Your bag is full. Bags? She was one of those like.
Wow.
So she was really like Mom and Dad. But yet she was a stinker. Like she would stab him sometimes every once in a while. But Mom and Dad took care of her. But anyway, long story short or short story long, years later, we were teenagers and Mom and Dad were going to a retreat of some sort. And so us kids were kind of excited because we're thinking, that maybe we get to stay by ourselves, but that wasn't going to happen. And then I thought of other people that we were going to get to stay at the Lightfoots or something,
Right.
No. They had her come and stay with us for a week.
That was terrible. That was. That's one of my first recollection of.
Yes.
Because I was pretty young then, but I remember that because.
Well,
I don't like rice pudding to this day.
She was a nasty cook, but we could. I mean. I guess I shouldn't say nasty. It was nasty. It was
horrible.
Nasty. But we would eat it, and but Michael, she would put it in Michael's plate, where we and Greg were like, we would try to grab it first and put it on our plate.
Their own plate.
Yeah, and then like, that's so good, and then try to get rid of it when she was like walk out of the room or something. But anyway,
Greg was
she
the clever
made
one.
rice pudding. We never had rice pudding. Mom never made rice pudding. I never heard rice pudding before. And she was going to make us rice pudding. And I'm like, she goes, "Do you want?" Well, I'm thinking rice, which, it's rice pudding. So anyway, which I guess that's what it was. But anyway, she makes this rice pudding. And she makes a big a big bowl of it, or pan of it. And so she gives us all some. That's supposed to be our dessert. It's like, had no flavor, really. It was just nasty. And the texture, we weren't used to the texture, and the texture was so nasty. The flavor was nasty, not there. I didn't know if we needed sugar or salt. What you needed? It looked like almost like oatmeal, like almost like grits. Hers did, and I've seen it since, and it doesn't look like that.
Up to that point, I don't think I had ever had a food I didn't like.
Yes, probably not.
And I knew I did not like that.
Well, so Michael, Mom and Dad, you don't say anything bad about anybody's cooking. You're just always polite. And so anyway, she's like, Mike goes, "This rice pudding," and I don't know if it was Greg or me. One of us kicked you under the table, and he goes, "It's so good."
And she took another spoon and put it in my bowl. I was so mad.
And so Michael had to eat it because she put that in the bowl. And so when she put food on your plate, you had to eat it all, which understandably so. So, but me and Greg we were trying not to laugh in front of her, but when she walked out of the room, we were like rolling. So when Mom and Dad got home, she told them that Michael wouldn't eat the food, didn't eat all this food, and she made rice pudding. Becky and Greg ate the rice pudding. We didn't, though. I don't remember what we did, how we got out.
You threw it away.
I don't remember, but
probably. I do, because I couldn't.
But we watched. You never watched. Me and Greg were always watching our back. We always.
Well, I was young. I was expecting
you to have my back. We learned it from a long time ago. It's just in our genes, I guess. We had the
sneakies.
Yeah, the sneakies. But anyway, so Dad's getting after us because we didn't eat what we wanted to eat, and Mom was like, "Well, they've never had rice pudding, Roy." And he's like, "Rice pudding, they don't know what's good for them." Blah, 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 blah. And so Dad grabs it, and he's like, he gets a bowl out, and he's eating, he's getting ready to eat.
He's telling us off.
And he was just going, "You kids, that's the thing, you're spoiled. This kids nowadays are spoiled." So he takes his first bite, and he turns around in the sink, spits it out, runs some water. And Mom and I, we all laughed. Yeah,
we never let him.
And Dad goes, "I didn't know you could ruin rice pudding."
You know what's funny? I never had rice pudding until 5 years ago. I was working at the prison,
and
they made some rice pudding, and I was like, And I told the story, so someone said, and it was good. Is that terrible? That rice pudding made in a prison was better than the rice pudding this woman made at church. And I'm like, wow.
But I will say this, because Aiden, my grandson, my oldest grandson, he told me when he was in second grade, he learned that every 7 years your taste buds change. And you know how you didn't like something when you were little?
Yeah.
And then later on you liked it? So maybe that's what was going on with you.
Yeah, it took several
I bet you
years.
I bet the prison was better, though.
Because
she couldn't make anything.
Miss Lightfoot was the best cook.
Oh my gosh, she was a short order cook.
Mom would get I think Mom would get her feelings hurt sometimes because
we like to
I would
Mom
tell
was a
her,
good cook.
No, you got to make it like Miss Lightfoot makes it.
Yes.
And I remember one time I made her. She had to call Miss Lightfoot. Mike won't let me make my grilled cheese sandwich. How do you make it? He wants me to make it just like you make it. And you know what's funny is what it was Miss Lightfoot would cut mine a certain way.
She was cutting it.
You know?
She slanted it. Mom cut straight. You wanted it. She did it in diagonal. And we were always impressed by that because our mom just went. And I would go to school and the people who had their in a sideways. I'm like.
But Miss Lightfoot always gave me pork and beans too.
Oh yeah, well.
Which
we knew not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chestnuts and pork and beans
don't mix.
Not really.
Not really good.
So.
But she was like, you would go over there and she would eat, like, she would make you whatever you wanted. Like,
Oh,
and
she
I'm like,
spoiled me.
we
She
don't,
spoiled
in
everybody.
our home, we ate what was on there. Mom was a good cook. Mom was a great cook. So there was very rarely anything we didn't like that Mom cooked. But when we went over there, this is how he was a butcher.
Mr. Lightfoot was?
Yeah, you didn't know that he
No,
worked for
I didn't
Kroger's.
know what
Yeah,
he did for a living.
yeah, he was a
I thought
butcher.
he was a car mechanic.
Why do you think they always had steaks? That's where I learned to love steak.
I never ate steak at their
Because-
house. I always had grilled cheese.
And they had, that's where she would make homemade, every day, homemade fries. It seemed
Yeah.
like it was every day. I don't know if it was, but anyway, so when we'd go there, Cindy would tell her what she would want, and I would always usually get what Cindy wanted or what Danny, so, because that's what they were having, so I just have it. And so one day, I don't know, like, somehow they found out I like steak, and so I got brave, and so every time I go over there, I'll just have a steak. I had steak. I loved going over there because I
Really?
would get steak and homemade French fries.
See, she had it easy with me.
Oh
I was
my
always
gosh.
like, I always wanted grilled cheese.
She's the one that pierced my ears,
Yeah, I remember that.
with the
With an ice cube
yes, and a needle.
and a needle. Yeah.
Yes,
She burnt it, the needle and stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
She did it pretty straight too.
yeah.
That's
Wow.
called trust. She was our second mom, pretty much.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. She just passed away this past year, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Not too long ago.
Yeah. She was everybody's favorite babysitter,
Yes,
so.
she even babysat my kids. I got pictures of a couple of years back when we went for homecoming for Dad with
Yeah.
at Valley, and I got pictures where we went right
I
to
know,
her.
I saw them. I was so jealous. I would
know.
love to have seen her.
I know.
So, well, I guess that's enough stories for today. But
Yeah.
I want to hear the story about next time about the ghost in the house,
Okay,
because I don't know that story.
that's Dad's story.
So
Yeah, and mom admitted that yeah.
wow. So, anyways, hope you like hearing a little bit of our stories. We got plenty more. If you're
Oh,
bored.
we got a lifetime.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go on Facebook, see who didn't watch us, and we'll figure out what stories we can on them.
Yeah. Oh, I got some stories.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Jamie, we said bye. You're not turning it off.
Are you gonna edit this part?
We're gonna have to, because we'll have to edit the whole. You hear her dropping pots and
And
pans.
the backdrop is kind of wrinkled. We gotta fix it.